man is not a hero, he's a criminal. Shut up!
Hey everybody, it's me, your buddy Admiral Teag. Got the old Mad Hat on today. I went to City Field, and with me is my friend, it's Krimlon! Krimlon! Welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be back.
It's good to have you here. I didn't really have a whole lot of time to talk to you up front, so we'll take it. I'll ask you what's going on later. But I hope all's well. It's great to have you here. Hail to Mark Harkness, JT Kirk, Woody M. Hello to you, sir, and to FKHHC 2005. There are 6 of you now on this YouTube exclusive broadcast of Teags Intense Talk Show. We've got Star Trek to talk about here on Boobs. We may talk about the uncanny Silicon Valley I went into when I had to deal with watching what is now, a classic. Possibly just me. I always thought it was really good, but now with 3 movies that are just below consideration here, I saw, ladies and gentlemen, we'll get to the ANDOR thing in a minute. What's important is everybody needs, if you could please, if you are so able to, share on X via the browser here on YouTube out to the world that Admiral Teague is in fact live. That wakes it up. That wakes up the algorithm. They start to tell people about me. I sit here and I'm so dedicated that I got this cherry Coke. Kremlin is a cherry Coke. Kremlin. You know why I have a cherry Coke?
Let me guess. It has something to do with the Mets?
No, it's because George Lucas drinks a cherry Coke when he writes Star Wars and when he finishes a script.
I mean, that would mean that he'd actually had written something in the last decade or two.
He drinks cherry Coke anyway, but that's how he celebrates. Probably smokes a joint as well. But
I have a feeling he's celebrating other ways with those billions of dollars.
He definitely has smoked a joint and drank a couple of glasses of wine, in my opinion, when we see him in that thing where he's like, I may have gone a bit too far in a few places, and acting all weird. Like he may have been fueled by a little bit of weed or something like that, or definitely some booze. He definitely seemed to have been drinking a little bit when he talked about how he went a bit too far in a few places. But let's just talk about our boy George Lucas. I saw Revenge of the Sith today in theaters. It has been a good long time for this movie for me since I saw it in a theater. It's been 20 years. And, it was really cool. Hayden Christensen did a welcome to the theater before the movie started.
I'll take that. I'll take that movie over anything Disney has been putting out.
I consider there to be 6 Star Wars movies. And hey, look! We don't have to beam him up because it's the talk show. JT Kirk is here. Hello, JT Kirk. Welcome.
Hail.
Welcome in, my friend.
Hail. You put me right at eye level with something tremendous.
The Two Mountains.
Yes.
Let me ask you something.
Twin Peaks.
The question was about to go to Krimlon. You can answer, and then
sure.
Krimlon can consider an answer as well. I think that of the I would like to make a hierarchy of the 6 Star Wars movies that we consider real. Okay. I don't consider I don't consider Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi, and I definitely do not consider the Rise of Skywalker, the Force Awakens to be Star Wars. I don't consider them real. They might be actually. Let's be honest. There's some form of Star Wars going on there. There's not a lot of Star Wars niche to their stars, right? There's not. It's not very Star Wars-ish Star Wars, but
except for Rogue One.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what?
Maybe 3/4 of it. It was, I was gonna Star say Wars for China. Yeah, that one character was only put in there for profit for China. And everybody knows
I don't give a shit about the last King of Scotland 4, or whatever the name of the planet that he was from was.
Yeah.
I don't give a fucking shit about him. I don't care about like Sal Guerrera and Che Guevara and I didn't need that whole beginning of that movie with like "you go girl" and like the mother is tougher than the father in the talking. Like, of course, it's like, of course, it's like, and it comes off so badly. It's like, of course, the mother's got a tough ass attitude. She's only going to get her husband killed.
Yep.
It's like, what's wrong with you, bitch? Shut the
On
fuck
the most
up. Like,
generic planet in all of Star Wars, I would think it. If it was any more generic, it would just be in the Rigel system.
Hey, I'm just happy with the ending. Everyone died. And it reminds me a lot of.
But they came back anyway,
1923. The woman.
No one's ever really
disliked,
gone. It's Disney Star Wars.
She died along with everyone else on that planet.
See, the way I see it is, this show is like Disney Alex. This is like 1923 Alex, like just a plain Alex story. A lot of it takes place in her mind in the car while she's freezing, and it's just called like Taylor Sheridan presents 1923, an Alex story. And she just like, it's more like we go deeper into her, like we use an orthoscopic endocam to go deeper inside of her when she's getting fisted and when she's being examined at Ellis Island. They violate her like, you know what? When I make my 1923 final video and I'm finally ready, I've sorted it out. I have to watch it just one more time, but while it was historically accurate and compelling and enjoyable to watch the adventures of Tiona, it was needlessly dark, wasn't it? She never interacted with a Tutton. She had no interaction at all. She's only in the story because her family eventually will be the owners of the Yellowstone if the Rainwater name holds up. Thomas Rainwater is a regular Yellowstone character, but the thing is, he's seen as kind of a douchebag, phony Native American. Maybe this was supposed to like resurrect that character's like.
How phony are we talking? Liz Warren phony?
No. He's got the genetics.
Okay.
He's got the genetics. Thomas Rainwater, if I have this correct, like now he's down with John Dutton III. He's down with Kevin Costner's character, so he's a friendly. I almost said he's a good one. He's a friendly. He is not of the hostile variety. So, like, here's the deal with how fake Thomas Rainwater is. He's got all the genetics, but they put an interesting twist on it. He was adopted as an infant in California and was raised in a middle-class white family with all the normal advantages. No one really gave him a lot of shit. While he looks pretty Native American, he like pushes it real hard with the way he dresses. He kind of could pass as, you know, like just another gringo. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, something going on, but you know what I mean? No one would think too hard in it. Like, not as much of a Native American as, say, Charles Bronson. Or maybe in Bronson's neighborhood. He's living on Bronson Street.
So he's like a guardian, then, is what you're saying.
But he's got enough guardian DNA. But the thing is, like, he is not like a full featured guardian. He kind of has like very like it's. I'm not saying he looks Anglo or whatever. Or I'm just saying like, you know. But the thing is, he takes a DNA test and finds out that he's an Indian. Is a guardian. Sorry, there are no Indians on this show.
Right.
He finds out he's a guardian, and so he goes full out to be like the biggest guardian he can be, and like he dives into the culture. Like he's got like a dream catcher on like the rearview mirror of his car, and a dream catcher like over his bed, and a dream catcher at his desk, and like he's got like Native American art all over his walls, and like because he had the advantages.
He smokes only American spirits.
I don't think he would ever smoke cigarettes because Thomas Rainwater's got a lot to live for now that he owns the Yellowstone. And the thing is, like, because he was adopted by a middle-class family that lived in California and was not from the Yellowstone area at all, he has, I believe, is a lawyer. So when he shows up, he's like, I am genetically related to everybody who's a guardian here. Would you like me to maybe do guardian stuff with you and help you out? Because I'm a lawyer. So he moves up relatively quickly in the ranks of the Guardians. So he is seen as kind of like a well-liked Guardian by the other Guardians, but like it's a little bit much when he talks about like the pain of his people and stuff like that. It's like, while true, he's not the greatest messenger, because it's like, tell us again. It's like, When I was going to college with Tom Brady, we had the same problem. We both came from tough, rough and tumble neighborhoods with incomes of only an average of $370,000 a year per capita. Yeah, the rough and tumble streets of San Bernardino, where if you didn't have the right genes, you would be, like he didn't really, like, sure. Well, it was like, I too know what it was like. When I graduated from high school, I was promised a Porsche, and it had to be, I wanted red. They couldn't get red, and it was black. I had a black Porsche, and that's what I've had to live with that. And when the white guy would come and cut me off in the red Porsche, I would be like, that's how kind of a little bit tenuous it is. It's like he had it real good. But the thing is, he does have skills, and he does care, and he is like deferential, and he is kind of like, because he has a foot in both worlds, he's able to negotiate with John Dutton, who's kind of like a throwback, like white guy, crazy man. Like he's not like a lunatic, although he kills a lot of people. But you know what I mean? Like he's like a kind of a throwback crazy man. Every Dutton is destined to live the life of someone several generations earlier, as far as the level of violence. Hello, Lemon Pie. It's good to see you. Guys, I need your help. We need to get the word out that the Admiral's out there. And usually, I would say 3 or 4 more minutes, we should see some people come through the door. It takes a little while. 9:30 might have been better. I thought it spiked at 10. But I think what happens is it takes about a half an hour for people to realize any given person's on. At least. Yeah. The way things are going now, and I'm going to opt out of this, but YouTube is offering a new way to show everyone commercials. And wow, it spiked. Hello, everyone who just came in. Welcome. It's the Admiral Teag weekday Teags Intense Talk Show. There's a new way that YouTube is going to be rugging people for money, and I'm not going to be part of it. I'm going to opt out of the automatic extra mid-rolls, where they feel they work great. They're going to make me more money. It's like, I look at my mid-roll money. If you tripled it, it still would only be like, it would start, because of
not enough when everybody leaves because they're pissed that they have to watch commercials, and now they're 3 minutes behind.
I'll let it use its AI. I'll let it use its AI to make commercials during my uploads, but then I'll go back and kill off a bunch of the commercials. So if I make a 15-minute upload, like that is supposedly good for 3 mid-rolls, I'll do 2. 1 or 2. Sometimes I really want people to watch it, so I'll go like the mid-roll will be at 12 minutes. So like you have to be pretty invested before I bother you. And I'll try to find the best part. In general, I leave the AdSense on, but never trigger it. And I think I'm going to leave it set up that way. I'm not in the mood to do it, but they are very interested in why I won't. They emailed me to my email to ask me why I don't use AdSense more. I had like 5 choices, so I went with I have to compete with people who don't use it. Last thing I wanted to tell them was your idea sucks. Hey, so guess where I went yesterday?
The proctologist.
Close. I went to meet the Mets.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
What's up, Krimlon? Krimlon, what's up? Oh, you're sorry I met the Mets? You know what? It's a fun time. I'm a Yankee fan, but I live in Queens, so every once in a while, I'll just go take that walk to the train and jump on and go meet the Mets. And here's the approach to their stadium, folks. This is it. This is the approach to Citi Field. You can see it there. You can see it, folks. There it is. It's Citi Field. It's beautiful. It's creeping up on us, and
well, spring is in full bloom outside of the stadium. You at least have that going for you.
Nothing is more depressing than going by Citi Field in the middle of winter. Baseball fields in the dead of winter suck like the joy out the way. They're building up the joy by sucking it out of the winter time, people. It's just like, it's already depressing. And when you see Citi Field with like snow all out in front of it, it's on one of my, I use it in one of my member videos. So go back and watch maybe Origin Tale 1. Oh, that's my neighbor's. I took a picture of that and sent it to the landlord. Douchebag. So there we are, getting close to the Citi Field. Getting closer.
Nice looking stadium, though.
It is really nice. It's based on an earlier New York stadium. It's just not based on a Mets stadium. The Mets, Met Stadium 1 was the New York Giants' original stadium, the New York Giants baseball team. The Frisco one, they played here first. They had the only park in Manhattan that really was a viable team. They come from another league. They're around for a really long time, right? So they're the original New York baseball team. They leave town. The NY on the Mets hat is from them. The other team is the Dodgers. They had the hats and the white uniform. The hats and the predominantly white and blue uniforms are Dodger stuff. And the fact that the blue that is was a Dodger blue, the Dodgers changed their color a little bit and made it a little richer because of the Mets. The Mets have like a 60s version of the Dodger color that they weren't using for very long. But the Dodger blue, they added pinstripes instead of having it be piping. They made it pinstripes. So the Met uniform is every New York uniform team combined. It's Yankee pinstripes, the Giant NY, and the Dodgers blue. So here it is. This is how you enter the stadium.
Are you getting off like a freight train? What's going on there? All those train tracks.
That is a slow-moving freight rail train of boxcars where I jump off and slowly roll to a stop on the side. And there is Flushing Pond, where Metzi the alligator, who eats most mafia victims, is to be found. And here we have the center party area of Citi Field. I took this picture as I stumbled in. I like to sit up in the 500s because there are no bad views in the house. There really aren't. Wait till you see my view. So this is your rec area for Citi Field. This is where the Citi Fielders go. Hello, Buddy Hepburn. It's good to see you. Hello, John the Beagle Dad. I'm glad you made it. Hello to Crimlon, both here and in the chat. Lemon Pie, I said hello. Mark Harkness, I think I said hello. And Woody M, it's good to see you here. And hey, Kyle Cullen, who comes through later, cloaked. Hello to you, my friends, and all of you who come through later. Give us a like. We want to get to 30 likes tonight. It's something that YouTube doesn't really let me use as a goal. But so you can see, here's the guy from Philly over on the left, of course, with this chick from Philly. Both of them were carrying knives, I'm sure.
That's unfortunate.
Well, you're also
don't they just look like the people from Philly?
You're also going to be fighting against the other streams right now doing the NFL draft.
You know what? The NFL draft is fixed. We already know.
And the Piston fan is watching the Detroit Pistons play right now against some other team that's not going anywhere in the playoffs.
I love the way you put it. The Pistons. There's one. Also, the Knick fan. We didn't get the Knick fan today. So anyway, this is yesterday. I was in a bad mood, so I went to the stadium to get it out of my mind. And look, the people from Philly are there, and of course they're eating Philly cheesesteak. Typical. So there are some people wearing the various 86 Met jerseys. As you can see, the 86 Met jersey is the way to go, as is the Men in Black 2000s Met jersey. Very big. I plan on getting an 86 Mets jersey. So this is when I started to give people an idea. I was trying to get an idea for people of how close the air traffic is to the stadium.
Is that coming out of LaGuardia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to say Gary Carter's number should be retired. He was the MVP of the 1986 World Series. You have the MVP of your 1969 World Series number retired. I realized that he didn't do a whole lot as a Met, but that wasn't up to him. He did the most important thing as a Met, win your last World Series. So, you know what? Let's get Gary Carter's number up there. Number 8. That's not that. I mean, I realize you said objects are higher than they appear, but
yes.
Let me ask you this. When objects fall off planes, don't they most likely fall off planes right after takeoff? They're going to fall off
within the first minute.
All right. So we're in the first between 10 to 40 seconds, depending upon when it comes off, is its time, the sweet spot for shit to fall off the stadium. 20 seconds after takeoff. We're in the prime area. There are so many pieces of planes somewhere on the stadium or buried in the outfield that came off during the night. They just have
great memorabilia.
Right.
This is why they called the football team that played there the Jets. LaGuardia Airport is directly next to Citi Field, so what they do is the sound of the it really is. What they used to do is they had the planes coming in low and continuously over the stadium, and also they were flying and taking off like slow and like looping over the stadium for the most direct route to go. It was ridiculous. So what they did was they finally got together with the city and they talked to them. They're like, well, this stadium fucking sucks because no one can hear the announcements. No one knows what's going on. And people start cheering. It gets drowned out by 5 straight jets. Like at like eye level, we can see the passengers, and the passengers like stop and jump off the wing to grab concessions. You know, it's like someone on that Delta plane bought a beer on their way to the stadium. And that was a problem during the days of Pan Am and Eastern. But now the planes take off straight up like it's Bagram Air Force Base. Look at this one.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that angle of takeoff.
Also. Like John Wayne Airport has the same issue. I think a lot of the housing communities ended up suing the airport in order to make them take off.
Listen, if it crashes into a bunch of occupied houses and kills thousands of people, that's one thing. But we're talking about killing baseball fans here.
They want the sound to be less, so they go up to a higher altitude quicker.
That's fine, and they should do that. And hey, we're being rated again. 323 people. It's funny how that happens when we're not on during the the communist belief crowdsourcers show goes, isn't it? And we'll be on during that tomorrow. Welcome to everybody. Listen, if you're for real, leave us a like and we'll know it's you. Otherwise, it's like kind of hard to believe and absorb the 323 people. Where'd y'all come from? I'm trying to see how that built. Well, that was just
Admiral,
out of nowhere.
All I can say is I can no longer sit back and allow communist infiltration, communist indoctrination, and communist subversion in the international communist conspiracy to sap all the fun out of our stream. Well, so if you're going to pull crap tonight, just stop. Just stop. You're pathetic. Go away.
You can't draw. You can't draw.
Right.
You can't fucking draw. Look at the hands on the things you draw. At the age you've reached, you cannot draw. It is time to stop fucking pretending that you can draw. It is time to stop pretending you can draw. Listen, if you guys
Lieutenant
are real,
Hepburn
and this does happen
has
from time
set
to time,
yellow alert here.
Yeah, I'm about to turn on the klaxons. Listen, everybody. Sometimes these things happen. There are bot swarms. It looks like there's one now. If you're real, do me a favor, give me a like. And here's the other thing. Real people do get caught up in the bot swarms because what this is it's an attempt to take away and destroy the channel. It's an attack on the channel itself. It's an attempt to take the channel away and have it not exist. Now, whether this be by the communist belief crowdsourcer, who, when I'm not on during his show, I get attacked right away. Isn't it funny? Every show that's not during communist belief crowdsourcer's show gets attacked. Every single show. Only when his computer is engaged do I not get attacked. When I fire up my show 5 minutes after his and go off the air 5 minutes after he ends, I never have a problem. So I'm not going to point any fingers, but I would say this: whoever's doing this certainly is a huge fan of Communist Belief Crusader, who's a dick and a piece of shit. And also, I want to say about the Communist Belief Crowdsourcer. How much longer will your wife put up with this jobless, indolent attacking of people? Like, this is what you spend your time doing today.
I would believe they're more of a Taylor Swift fan.
Isn't Taylor Swift also like originally Canadian, right? Or is she from like Kentucky? A lot of these country stars come from Canada.
She's from the U.S., if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe so.
Listen, I call the comic relief crusader Snow Billy Grifter. Hashtag Snow Billy Grifter. He's on the grifter spectrum. He crowdsources every 4 or 5 weeks, and this is what he does to try to compete. We'll be taking his watch hours tomorrow as a little repayment for what he did to us today. Anyway, let's get on with this great story. So as we can see, planes taking off over the stadium, a problem. Retired numbers, we could use more. But look at that. I mean, that is a pretty nice looking day and a pretty nice. Now it looks away from Manhattan. Okay. Manhattan's to the left. So you're looking out towards the North Shore.
I was going to say, where's the city from this angle?
The stadium, like the wind blows a certain way, and they wanted the stadium set up so that the wind would be blowing out rather than in. So you can't see the city from the stadium. I mean, you can, but you would have to be in the top row looking over your shoulder backwards away. It would be where those retired numbers are.
Gotcha.
Now,
you walk into question for you. Question for you. You said there's not a bad seat in the house. When you go to Comerica Park, you really don't want to sit in those upper decks because the seats are narrow up there. And so if you have wide shoulders, even a little bit, right, you're going to hang over the seat. And before you know it, you're just rubbing shoulders. So you want to get down into the lower section, like this picture you have here of City.
See,
right?
There's not a bad seat in Yankee Stadium, in Citi Field. But the thing is, I think Comerica is like one of the last places to still be stupid huge. Like you got like a 55,000 seating capacity there, right?
Oh yeah, it's huge, and also the outfield is massive. Made it smaller, and I believe it's still the one or second largest distance from home plate to the fence in center field.
Well, that's your tradition. Your tradition is to have a lot of triples because you had Ty Cobb, and he was the king of the triple. And that was allegedly, for a while there, in the era where a bounce over the fence was a home run, for a while there, there was a debate about whether a triple was a more pure form of baseball and whether hitting the triple was a more of an accomplishment. And, I just want to say the greatest thing I ever saw as far as being an unselfish guy, Bernie Williams was hitting for the cycle. He had the home run right away. Then he hit a single, which is to be expected, right? Mm-hmm. But then he hit a double. I'm sorry, but then he hit a triple rather. So he had the home run, the single, and the triple. Think of how crazy that is. And now, and it's only like the fifth or sixth inning. So the crowd's going crazy. There's probably up to 3 at-bats left for Bernie Williams, right? Crowd's going fucking nuts. And like every time he comes to the plate, the crowd's going insane. He might have fouled one back a couple of times. He might have gotten like walked, like or hit by a pitch or something. Because at that point, they're getting pissed the fuck off at him. They might have gotten hit by a pitch. But then on the last at bat of the game, it was like at the bottom of the 9th inning, and like he hit a clean like just liner up the gap, fucking worm burner, right? And as they were trying to field it, they were to hit the cutoff man, he kept running and then overran his double to make room to clear off the base pad for the guy behind him, and so he missed the cycle by having 2 triples, a single, and a home run. How nice. What a beast Bernie Williams was.
I bet he couldn't do that again. Ever.
Looks like he's 70 now. Look, these are the people. Now, in Vietnam, my father had one of these to shoot grenades at people. This is now used to shoot T-shirts into the stand. I don't know. It's up to you to tell me what the better use is. But I asked my biological father, I said, would you want to be honored by the Mets? And he said, I love the Mets more than anything else in the world except my country. Of course, I'd want to be honored by the Mets for my service in Vietnam. And I said, what would be more fun, to have them sing the Star Spangled Banner for you, or to have them to play Meet the Mets and ride you around on the golf cart, and you can shoot like T-shirts at the crowd with your old weapon from Vietnam? And he's like, I'd much rather end my career as a grenade launcher kind of guy, shooting T-shirts to the crowd for fun, than like explosives at people to stay alive.
Okay, so he was going to be still alive while doing this. I wasn't sure based on your story when you started saying carting him around the field. I was like
oh,
what,
no,
like Weekend at Bernie's?
Well alive, well alive. I asked it, like I said, would you like to, like, what would your preference be? Like, would you want to have them honor you and sing, Star Spangled Banner? Or would you rather go around, like, on top of the golf cart, like, on the roof, like, firing T-shirts into the crowd? And he's like, I'd get him up into the third level where people never get him. And I'm like, hey. Let's just remember the name Josh Hamilton before we talk about how we can get things up into the upper deck.
Upper deck.
Ooh, no,
Kremlin is blowing it up here. Well done, sir.
Oh,
look at all these Met fans going crazy for Mr. Met on the screen, and that's Mrs. That's I believe his kid, Mr. Met's son.
Did you take a look at chat there?
I did not take a look at the chat.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. Oh, I gotta look. Oh my God! Wait, hold on. Kremlin, oh my God, 10 Admiral Teague memberships. Hey,
more than that.
You know what?
Who's this
more than that,
Kremlin, dude? I mean,
wow! Holy
what is he
shit,
doing?
Kremlin.
15.
Kremlin,
15.
Thank you for underwriting this stream to the 328 concurrent viewers. Holy shit! Let's see who got these. Let's see who got these memberships to the Admiral Teague show. Kremlin, thank you. Wow, I think we might have momentarily reached the point now. We're up to 16 likes, so there's some real people there. 329 is a weird, ragged number. It makes me believe that the real number is about 29, which is about right for this show. And as we can see, if I'm not, I am so grateful to you, Kremlin, you have granted memberships to Captain Fandom Nerd, a good friend of mine. Andy Morrow received a gift membership from Kremlin. Canadian Spider-Man received a gift membership from Kremlin. Janet from Another Planet.
Do we even have enough after what I just did?
I don't know. They do reverse them if there's not enough people to get them. Like they wait a day and see if enough people log on and give them away for a while, and then if I come on the next day, like a bunch of names will appear at the top. But I don't know. We'll see.
There's about
the oldest
gamer.
I know the oldest gamer. Oh my God! The gift membership from Clemon goes to Brandon Looney Tunes fan. Carla got one. Buddy Hepburn got one. Then we got two more massive dumps here. And wow, I don't know. Like, call your friends. You know what? Call the president. Call your friends. We have Admiral Teague memberships. If you're here, when you come through later, leave a comment. It'll help you get a membership. It'll set you up. If you are interested in being part of my channel, and my God, I've got to look now and see how many members I have, because that might mean a new GIF. Which means what happens is, like, right now, I grab any GIF right away so that I can hold it.
Too.
That might have brought us to 100. We were really close to 100. I want to.
Sometimes I don't think it lists everyone that gets the gifts.
Not
if they're too close together. Yeah.
It takes a while. It takes a while for it to show up, but let's see. Wow, Kremlin. First of all, thank you very much. You did a great job there, bringing a lot more people into the channel community, and now, thanks to you, let's see how many members we have here in the Admiral Teague community. Let's see. I hate the way this doesn't really quite make sense. The way you have to figure it out. Let's see, memberships. We are up. It says 59, but that can't be accurate because we were up to like 75. I think we might have 100 soon. It takes about a day for them all to process through. Things that happen during today's live stream don't go down until in my analytics until tomorrow. Kremlin, I can't thank you enough. It really helps me have a community to talk to. People get to see the member content I make. And I guess at some point I'm going to have to make a 1923 final video, but I think I'm ready to finally say what I need to say about it. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've been a great member of the show, just helping keep us interesting and live. And now with just a massive dump here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 Admiral Teague.
Massive dump.
massive dumps. Massive dumps of it. You know what? They said that they were counting, and that the communist belief crowdsourcer was ahead. Was the communist relief crowdsourcer was losing by bigly, and then these trucks came in after lunch with these massive dumps of votes, and suddenly communist beliefs started picking up traction, and we all know it was just a lie. It was a lie, and this is why we can't turn on AdSense. But you know what? I thank you from the bottom of my heart, Crimlon. And guys, we could get up to 30 likes. It would do me so much good, and you know what? We could kind of show everyone what's going on. And by the way, it's a verified attack now because we have 329 concurrent viewers with 71 views. So, you know what? We'll be back tomorrow while a man who should be looking for work delusionally goes through the motions of entertaining people, talking only to himself. You know, if I really had subs, and I actually do, I would behave in a way that wouldn't alienate them. He seems like he is just so free from the idea that he would have to act in a way that people would respect, because it's like, he's got robots for subs, the communist belief crowdsourcer.
It's almost like he doesn't fear Patton coming around, making sure he's awake on post, or not sitting in med quarters crying like a baby.
You know what? The communist belief crowdsourcer has said a few things about how it's unfair for him to be talked of as the bot swarmer. You know what? No one's saying you did it. I'm saying they're a huge fan of you. I'm saying that they seem to attack all your enemies. Stark of Iron had the same problem I had when you were de-wrenched by him for talking shit about me in the chat. Everyone saw it. And when the attacks on his show ended, the attacks on my show began. It's you. And you know what? As far as your claim to legitimacy, or that you don't have bots, no one fucking believes you. You're a fucking asshole. And Timothy Dalton is got my back.
The word decent doesn't apply to me.
And you know what? You're on something.
Pure anti-proton. Absolutely pure.
All right. So anyway, back to the Met game. The Met game was fun. There's the field. Look at the crowd. Doesn't that look like fun? Look at the apple coming up there for the crowd singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Looks pure.
Yeah. It's great. It was great stuff as we play the Philadelphia Phillies. There it is. There's the apple.
It's pretty big.
I only see half an apple.
See these seats up over here in the corners? Those are limited views. I think they tore them out and put like a snack bar there. They had some like limited views they had to get rid of. They did make a couple of mistakes designing this fucking stadium.
Is it an Aloha snack bar?
No, it's a shake snack. But yeah, it's got a what do you call it? It's got one of those, what do you call it? A big Kahuna burgers. Check this out. I want to show you guys something here.
Oh no, Admiral Teague, I don't know if you picked up on it.
I don't think...
Being near Dearborn, I definitely got you, Crimlon. 5x5.
I also don't understand why there's half an apple
Come
there.
on, help me. You know, it pops up and then drops back down during home runs or during Take Me Out to the Ball game. It comes up.
That's not very realistic.
No, it's not, but it's fun. And by the way, look, what's also not realistic is over there in right field, you can see Shea Bridge. It's a bridge. It's an actual bridge. It's right there in the stadium. It's a bridge. It's fucking great. Anyway,
is this a New York thing here? Like, you get excited over bridges?
The stadium needed a feature that was cool and made it better. This is a better stadium than the new Yankee Stadium. This is the Mets' first proper stadium. Their first stadium was inherited. Their second stadium didn't get finished. It was supposed to have a dome. It was a very boring circle. There's your scoreboard.
How does this compare to the Yankee Stadium? I know when they finished building that there, they were having problems with home runs being hit out of it all the time.
That seems to have been contained, but it's still a bit of a launching pad. They said they had the wrong doors open at the wrong time and the wrong windows, so it created a blasting breeze that came out through the middle. Sounds like they just gave everyone an excuse to cope. But look, the Mets ran out there onto the field and piled up and had a victory celebration after they beat the Nationals in the 10th inning off a home run by Alonso. Like, this was almost like going to a Yankee game. They played so good. I was like, almost. Yeah. They played. Look at their. By the way, I want to just say, I want to praise the professionalism of the Met fans. They finally know how to be fans. Like, if you look around the stadium, like, most people had, like, relatively new Met gear. Met gear from the last few years, and it wasn't giveaway stuff from the early '80s. Like, look at all the Met gear and uniforms in the stands. So good on them. They look like a proper bunch of baseball fans. Their team just won bigly, and they're celebrating the way they should, deservedly so. And then, a good showing. Lots of people, very nice. Some of the nicest people, Crimlon. Some of the nicest people. JT, these are some of the nicest people.
Yeah.
Is this the same people that were represented in the episode that we make fun of on 1923? Just extremely nice people.
She was a little early for a Met game, but she easily could have gone to like a Dodger or Yankee game, gone in 1923. One of the things I found most hilarious was, why not just go to because he was in the unit that he was established to being in, why not just go to the nightclub? And by the way, shouldn't you be looking for a job? Does your wife know you're doing this? Communist belief, crowdsourcer. And if it's not you, then to the people at Paramount, I say tally ho, but you will not stop us from doing Sci-Fi CSI and exposing your content when it comes to the garbage that you're going to pass off as stupid new lows. Aloha snack bar?
Yes.
All right, now I get it.
Did you figure this out? Yeah. Seriously?
He did. He did.
Yeah, it's like but hello, brain. We're up to like 18, 19. Can we get at least the 20 likes? We have 323 concurrents. It's what an honor. This is every show that is not on during the Communist Belief Crowdsourcers show. It's funny how it works out that way, but he is a communist. He is a crowdsourcer, and his belief is that he should not have to have talent or work. And he puts a lot of effort into that communism and that crowdsourcing. He has his hand out again. I think I've heard the Communist Belief Crowdsourcer who can't get by in a socialist country is now, after we crowdsourced his way through paying off his house and crowdsourced him a workshop that he could pretend to look for a job in, and crowdsourced him a car to go to his imaginary job that's not in his workshop that he needed crowdsourced. He now wants to leave all that paid for stuff behind and go to Texas and try to make it in a capitalist country. He's like got socialism up the ass, lifetime unemployment. He'll never want for anything. And like, what is it? 7 crowdsourced fundraisers in the last 10 months alone. Communist Belief Crowdsourcer is a fucking loser who cannot get by on the communist dole. And I would just say, if you are going months and months and months doing this, by the way, you are proving that it's not bad luck. You just, what is this Imsure thing? You know what? It's not going to get you real subs. Using your bots on me won't get you real subs, comic relief. It won't get you real subs, Mike, and it won't get you real watch hours. I'll be there taking what you got. You going to do this to me? Fuck you, piece of fucking shit. I'll show you. And you know what? You have no talent. I have no fear of you. Tomorrow, I will easily embarrass you once again, as I embarrassed you before. And because you have attacked me, those who have asked me to, those who have said that they're not part of it and disavowed you, I got to find out why this is happening. I think an attack by one is an attack by all, and there's going to be increasing retaliation because of the actions of Communist Belief Crowdsourcer. Believe me, Apparently, he was fired because he was unhealthy. Yeah, he knows so little about having a job that in his alleged job that I say he made up, he got fired for a reason that no boss would ever fire anyone for, a reason that would make that person you fired rich. You fire people sometimes, JT, in your job. Have you ever had to let someone go?
Have I directly had to? No, but I've been asked, and then that person was directly let go. Yes.
Like, have you ever had the pep talk about letting people Have you ever had to have the pep talk about how letting people go involves not giving them reasons to sue the company?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
What kind of asshole gets fired? What happens to someone who fires someone over their health?
You usually land a massive
now you have two people who are fired.
Company. Yeah.
But now two people are fired, right?
Yeah, you're
now
fired
two
for
people are
messing
fired.
up the firing.
Yeah. In fact, the only way they win that lawsuit is firing you as fast as they can. In fact, you're out the door minutes after you say that.
Yeah.
Your boss has enough time to piss on your shoes as he screams at you that you're a piece of garbage.
Right. Like they call the boss like 2 levels higher than you from like Chicago to fly in. That's and they tell you that you need to wait for a meeting, and they leave you in a room by yourself, and it's like, aren't we supposed to go home? Nope, this is an important meeting. You stay here. I'll be off the plane at 5:30. Be there at 6.
Right.
I don't care if you leave at 4. You're staying until I get there at 6.
Right, and it's like you forget to adjust for the fact that you're on Eastern time, so they have to stay yet another hour later. It's like actually 7 your time. It's like, fuck you, why should I translate for your metric time, you piece of fucking shit? By the way, you're fired for your health. Here's our whole company, guys. You don't have to worry about communist belief crowdsourcer. He is going to own that company if what he said is true. It's not true. It's not true. No one gets fired. It's not true. It's a fucking lie.
Well, you can allege whatever you want, but I'm telling you right there, like, unless you have that,
we're worried about your health. Include that we think you could come back here with an L.
Maybe
that you might fill your hands with iron, so to speak.
Maybe, or was just sleeping. You're sleeping.
Well, we know the night before that a bot swarm of this nature was visited on the channel by, we believe, forces related to the communist belief crowdsourcer, who is a fucking piece of shit, by the way. Anyway, this is looking up at City Field. Isn't that kind of cool? It looks like Evans Field. And here's my favorite drug addict. I love this guy. I love how much drugs he does. Not Tom Seaver. Tom Seaver was pretty clean. And you can see how much darker his Met hat is, closer to like that Dodger blue. The Mets have gotten a little pressure to change their blue a little bit and make it more their own. And that
who is cleaner? Who is cleaner? Bob Seaver or Tom Seaver?
I would say probably Bob Seaver.
Okay.
Why not? Because his songs have a mild kind of balladish sort of power rocking thing that makes you want to buy a truck, the kind of truck that Tom Seaver bought after he won the World Series. And I will say this, I was disappointed that Gary Carter was not out there with the other. I mean, you got your one World Series MVP right here. Where's your other? That's your franchise. Anyway, here's the Italian restaurant, I think from The Godfather. I think this is where Michael kills those people.
Yeah.
Now that's a slice of pizza. That is a slice of pizza, my friends. That is pizza. I would have had 2, but I didn't have time. I had to get to the theater. And there's some of the visuals. That's that same pizza would be being reheated later. The fight on Mustafar. Good stuff. Good stuff. I had the greatest time today. Revenge of the Sith is
Disney's going to come after you now. You took a photograph
of a still movie.
Stop showing copyrighted material on your channel. Oh no.
Yeah, and you know what?
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Stop showing copyrighted video. Cosby Stream reported. Go fuck yourself. And what's more communist belief when that guy you hire is fucking your wife and throwing up from having to do it? You enjoy that, you fuck. You enjoy that. Wait, I have to stand up. Comic relief. Yeah, is this things that like? I'll take things that Comic Relief Crusader said it worked for 1,000. Alex, what do you mean? I need to take my hands out of my pockets? Fuck you. I'm on my phone. I'll get to it later. Bing, bing, bing. That's today's Daily Double. He said it all day on Thursday, the last day he had a job. He had to get off his ass, and his lungs couldn't handle it. Yeah. Unless I can mutter hateful, irrelevant things that aren't true and aren't accurate, I can't talk. I'm very upset to hear that they're taking Frankenstein off the shelves of the Louisiana School District, and Frank's classic should be left on there forever, says the Comic Relief Crusader, who thinks that Mary Shelley is Anne Frank. You know, it was sad when Mary Shelley was taken off to Auschwitz.
No.
It's very sad when Mary Shelley was taken off like that.
No.
Terrible. Terrible stuff. But
so you saw a movie film today.
Get this, there were twice as many people in this theater as there were for the premiere of Snow White and the premiere of Captain America Falcon Man. Twice as many people. Twice as many. There were twice as many people there. And they were, at the end of the movie, they cheered and applauded. They cheered and applauded for a Star Wars movie without the original cast.
That's 20 years old. 25.
Without the original cast, there was no Carrie Fisher. There was no Han Solo. We had droids.
Still better than anything that Disney's come out with.
It's, you know what? I think that this is a good movie, honestly. And I would ask everybody out there if they don't think that this is maybe one of the better ones. Let's take a look at our first poll. And then since we've already been, oh, look, the bot swarm has dropped off. Did you did one of the hamsters in your computer die? Or did you have to relocate it to a happier place?
I was just waiting for you to finish
the place. The place your fucking head goes. You motherfucker, you. And there we have, I believe
Buddy Hepburn said that the edit next to him made Wookiee sounds a bunch and recited quotes along the film the entire time.
What?
Yeah, that's like
that's going too far.
Blaster time, right?
You
pull out that blue stun blaster, and
I said this is where the fun begins. But I said it was like, this is where the fun begins. Because I meant it and I so felt it. And I also, I didn't say the whole thing, but I think by the end I was like, some considered to be unnatural. I think I might have, but it was about that loud. You know what I mean? I was so into the movie.
That. I mean, there's always maybe one line that it sneaks out, but like the whole movie, come on.
No, Buddy Hepburn was poorly abused. In my theater, people were fucking into it. Like when he kills Mace Windu, everyone cheered because I think Mace Windu's esteem has gone down. I think a lot of Secret Invasion viewers were at the at the show. By the way, Master Yoda's esteem has gone down. When the Emperor beat his ass, people cheered. And by the way, what happened the first time didn't happen. This was only fans. Like, this is what they've lost. The normies. There were so many normies at Revenge of the Sith the first time I saw it, the first 3 times I saw it. I knew it wasn't derisive. This is what happened. You must embrace a larger view of the Force, including the dark side. You know of the dark side? My master taught me everything of the Force, including the ways of the dark side. You're the Sith Lord! Whoa! Holy shit! No way! Like, that's what happened the first 2 times I saw it. People gasped, and people were like, "No!" Like, I was like, "They've got to be trolling me, right?" But no,
how did you not see it from 5 miles away?
And like 13 years. Yeah. What the fuck? But 17 years.
I didn't see it with any normies because what I did was I played hooky from high school, and I just went for the morning show because I had $5 for lunch that week or something like that, and I was like, I'm I'm going to go spend my lunch money on watching this movie for the cheapest showing, which was, 11 o'clock in the morning or something. I'm the only one in there.
I saw it with my dad. He drove me there from Head Start. He took me there from Head Start. He was like, you know what? You don't need to go to Head Start today.
What is that? Is that like a halfway house from
it's a school for special needs people.
Oh,
hey, you guys don't have that? Head Start is the level of school that comes before kindergarten.
Oh,
it's
young
for
5s.
Yeah.
Is that what is that what they told you?
Yeah, my father picked me up at Head Start, and he said, "Gosh darn it, you're 28 years old. You could go see Revenge of the Sith."
I was told a lot of lies growing up too, and I found out the same way. I thought the short bus was normal.
No, I did really skip out on high school and go see this.
And Krimon and I really did have to wear hockey helmets when we rode the bus to school, but that's
one of us did it as a fashion statement. The other one was a requirement.
Let's see. And by the way,
weird.
You'll have to guess.
Dropped off.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the people who are here. It sucked because we were up to like 15 people, and the attack just kind of took sucked the life out of it, and we're down to like 5 people. But hopefully, we'll be entertaining. Let's see. Does the kind of attack seen on Andor have a place in Star Wars? Yes, Andor equals adult Star Wars is 32%. As many people noped out of answering. 16% Star Wars not for mature audience. 21% I don't know what Star Wars is anymore. I'm going to end that poll in a moment because I think it's probably pretty much finished. It's true, too. Like, who knows what it is? And again, now that the attack is over, do me a favor, tweet out that I'm live, let people know that the show is still going on. If anything, we'll force them to have to turn it back on again because that attack it should not be rewarded by driving off my audience. And one of these days, you won't get a blue streak of New York cursing as the rejoinder for it. So we, you know what? Let's leave the Andor poll live for now because we're moving on to talking about that. Has anyone bothered with this shit?
No.
That's problem number one, right?
Who does? Yeah. I mean, the first season did not get good numbers, even though Andor allegedly was actually not that bad. And I still didn't watch season 1 because when I hear people that are former fans or haven't come to grips with the fact that they are basically the equivalent of an alcoholic, but of that IP, that well, let me just say it this way: it's like the people that say, The Last Jedi wasn't that good, Star Trek Discovery wasn't that good, but Strange New Worlds isn't that bad, and that's kind of what I was hearing with Andor. And I just said, no. I know what this rationalization is all about. And sure enough, nobody watched Andor, allegedly. I mean, Disney's burying those numbers in the deepest hole they can find.
No one watched it. It was just, it made it to that lowest of bars. It was not stupid. It was not stupid. And Kremlin, did you see season 1 of Andor?
Oh goodness. I'm
Use of glasses is justified, Mr. Kirk.
Yeah, I don't think I ever did. I managed to acquire it, but I don't think I ever actually sat down and watched it.
Sure.
You know, here's the thing about that OB2, that she didn't have to put up with, listen to, or see or hear any of it. Yeah, no, I was the last time I was on Comic Relief Crusader's show, and boy, what a show. He should find that and delete it before I do, where he talked about the idea that it would be a great idea to put small humans inside cages.
Wasn't that an Obama era policy?
No, it was like some state, like they went beyond crazy. So like what happened was like there, you know that recurring story about teachers needing to put a litter box in the classroom because a kid identifies as a cat.
Yeah.
Somebody watched so much news that they believed that that was true. It's not true, by the way, people. There's no where is the picture of the litter box? Where is the teacher's arrest? Where is the picture of the teacher in jail?
Right.
Like where is the parents suing them? Like that is like a health code violation. Like it never happened. Okay. This is just a stupid thing because some kids will say anything and some teachers in some states are just fucking fun qualified. And what we had happen was, yeah, well, I mean, no, I mean, honestly, in New York State, you may not approve of the curriculum, but you have to go through so much education on how to be an educator and how to have ethics doing it the right way and how not to break our laws about speaking inappropriately to people under the age of 12 about relationships and marriages and not inculcating philosophies. If you have to
teach someone that, you've already failed.
No, you need to lay down some rules about what's not going to happen in your freaking classroom because the classroom is no place to experiment with some kind of temp teacher who's just there to do a day's work. Your teacher has to go home and evaluate people.
That should be just a normal assumption. I mean, dear God, if you're having to go that far.
Well, it is. Here's the thing. We recruit out of state where these things happen all the time. So there's a lot of people from other places who want to live in New York, who get off more than they can chew. You should probably have gone to a New York City high school to teach in New York City. I'm being honest because and also I think in the New York City Police Department contract, to give you an idea of what it's like, it is been said that you cannot enforce the law in New York without being without cursing. So the New York City teacher contract is kind of similar.
Well, I got no problem with that.
The thing is that you have to justify their salary by laying down the law over and over and creating a culture where they would never do anything to jeopardize their job and have basically a doctorate by the middle of their career on, and where they could be a principal most other places, just to make sure that crazy things don't get said in these classrooms. Like, you do hear a lot of crazy shit being said in classrooms, and a lot of the times it's somewhere else, but when it does happen in New York, like, people stop reading after they read crazy shit said in classroom. They don't keep reading Teacher at Rikers. They don't keep reading Teachers at Rikers. Was removed in handcuffs from the school, was out of the classroom. After they got the children out of the room, they arrested the teacher and took them out the back door to Rikers. You cannot do. It's like they're like
a good TV show.
In New York City teacher school. I'm sure at some point they have to tell them. In 1903, a law was passed about talking about sex to people under the age of 12 at all in schools. So it doesn't matter what you think is right or wrong, and you're not going to put that stupid flag up. By the way, I believe in the one flag school rule. I mean, maybe your state flag's okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. Chat, an optional secondary is the state flag, especially if you're in Texas. You're kind of big about that, right? So you permit it there.
Now, what happens if your teacher's a wackadoodle and wants the rainbow flag up there?
As long as you can put up the straight pride flag.
Yeah, I agree.
What's the straight pride flag? That month's Playboy? I mean, what the hell?
No, that actually is a straight pride flag.
Can you Google the image? I gotta see this. Yeah, you know what? Okay, have a good night, John. I'm sorry I'm a little behind the chats. I'm catching up kind of quickly. I'm only 11 minutes behind now.
It's a hetero pride flag.
By the way, I do feel that and guys, all 7 of you here now, can you do me a favor? Let it know that I'm around so we can preserve some of this number and make it a little bit harder for the attack to have worked out. It was like pretty underhanded. Kremlin sort of showed the attack or the pointlessness of it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Kremlin made so many people members. A membership video about I think it might be time to talk about the bot swarms, might it? In a member video. Might just be time to talk about drone warfare and the kind of dastardly bullshit that goes on here. I'm sick and tired of just going on and trying to do my own thing and having this shit happen. If communist belief crowdsourcer had wanted peace, he would have left me alone and there would have been no counter stream tomorrow. I have said over and over, that I am a counter puncher. And by the way, when people asked for a cessation of hostilities, they made specific points to say that they can go fuck what happened to you as far as getting messed up in the social war, which united the Roman Empire, JT.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got back to normal a few minutes ago. I'd like to get up to like double digits where we were before the attack. I'm sorry, guys. I guess I'm going to have to learn how to like really blow off the attacks and defend right through. At any rate, listen to this, man. Revenge of the Sith, a great theater experience. The sound was great. The way some sounds were behind you, the conversation was always in front of you. People on the left, the speaker was left, right, speaker right. Perfect sound coordination. The lightsaber sounds moving around the room, the blaster sounds, and the impacts moving around the room. It was fantastic in this huge theater. There are about 60 people in a theater designed to hold roughly 400. That's not a bad day. It beat the fuck out of Snow White and cost no money.
Cost no money. A very nominal amount to distribute the hard drives to everybody.
Very nominal amount. And they're not allowed to edit or touch George's movies. So, I mean, if George was in on something... I will say this, it might have been the movie theaters were aware of this, or it might have been the sound system where I was, but does anyone else remember the sequel, or maybe we're used to it, the prequels were the loudest fucking movies you'd ever seen anywhere. They were loud as could be. We're talking like really loud, especially Phantom Menace.
I don't recall that. I remember the Matrix movies being way too loud, but
yeah, I don't remember.
Not these.
It was 20 years ago.
Here's the thing I'm going to say about Andor. It's a 12-part show, right? And it comes in these waves of chapters, right? So what I started doing was holding off till a chapter was done to watch the chapter, right? So I'd check on the computer and see the chapter was done. So they were like always 3 or 4 episodes long, right? So I watched the first couple episodes and I'm like, wow, like they get some of what Star Wars is about. Like, for instance, like they bring the environment into a fight the way they did in Rogue One. Like this fight between Anakin and Obi-Wan, it does get criticized for being a bit dancey and stuff like that. They do use the environment as part of the fight to enhance it, and I do think this is one of the best lightsaber duels, and I like it better than Darth Maul versus Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, simply because of this. It was all payoff. The music was great. It was a perfected form of Duel of the Fates. The sounds were fantastic. The music sounded fantastic on the movie sound system. And by the way, someone said there are moments where they're face to face just spinning their sabers to no avail. They're using the Force on each other and trying to break free with the sabers. Is that not what's happening? Anyone?
I know that part vaguely. Like I can picture it. I just thought they were trying to size each other up because they weren't getting anywhere, and they were trying to use the Force to kind of feel each other's weakness or potential weakness out, right?
No, I think it's a full-on Force attack by both guys on the other, and part of the Force attack is holding back the other guy's saber. So both guys are going nuts with the saber to complicate the Force control that they're trying, and each guy's trying to choke out the other guy with the Force. So they're holding off the Force choke, but the saber hand's going like nuts to try to get a blow in. So it's a double-pronged Force attack, is my opinion, is what's going on there.
Whatever you believe, I mean, it's not explicitly stated why they're doing that, but whatever you believe, I thought it was just fine. You know, I didn't think it was too much choreography like a stage show.
We've seen ninja fights where they salute each other in similar fashion for as long.
Yeah.
Krimlon, the face-off, where we see like the crazy saber salutes. Your opinion?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think back to a lot of what they just discussed during the making of this. I know they tried to, go back on the lore, along with trying to copy a lot of the the Japanese culture on how they handled it. I think you may have a little bit of a point to that with them trying to utilize the Force to try to manipulate the others' lightsabers during the duel, also, and trying to see who can get the upper hand before they even strike.
Yep, there you go.
There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
That's one of them. That's one of them, actually. They have a black and white one.
There's a black and white one, too. Yeah.
Well, would that be the one you fly off the back of the bus?
I mean, I've got one of each that I put in my pickup truck when I drive down the road, you know. So
who doesn't?
Right.
So this is why this is why I woke up after that wild night with this tattooed across my whole back. All right, so we found out what it exists. It's a thing. It's real. All right, so here we are back in the theater with Admiral Teag. We go.
Now, one of the things I will say about this fight and the movie in general, it does not get first or second place, in part because I think the film is about 20 minutes too long. And a lot of that is this fight scene. And I know people love to disagree with me on this, and that's okay. I just feel like the fight drags on about twice as long as what it should have been. And a lot of it is CGI and obvious that it's CGI. And it seems almost like grotesque or lightsaber prawn just for the sake of having it.
And it is. But here's the thing. We were never supposed to see it again.
Yeah, I think they wanted to drag it out intentionally just because you weren't going to see it again.
It was the last movie, the last Star Wars movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yeah. While we're on that, let's see what George Lucas himself would say about whether or not there should be any more Star Wars after this. I'm wondering.
Do you want the Star Wars trilogy and the mythology to go beyond your lifetime?
No. 3 will be the last film, and it'll be a 6-part series, and that'll be the end of it.
Incorrect. You're not mentoring someone to take over for you?
No, it's
automatic defense procedures initiated.
There may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release.
Affirmative.
I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek. I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek.
Would that it could be only as bad as the Star Trek of that time now. We have to put so many asterisks on it. It's unfortunate.
The other thing about having that fight so long is when you try to watch these in chronological order, of the numbering, not when they were released into the theater, but you look at that, and the second movie and the third movie have just over-the-top lightsaber scenes, and then you jump into A New Hope, where the technology isn't there for them to do much, and they're just kind of swinging them at each other like two little kids with broomsticks, right? And it just doesn't flow well. It's jarring.
What's compared for a moment to a sequel's lightsaber fight? There's no baseball batting. We don't have people swinging for the blade. They're swinging for the person almost the entire time. There's almost no swinging at the blade. They're going for the person. They're in for the death stroke every time. We have headcanon to explain why they use the Force the way they do. And the environment comes into fights, which is something that they do in Andor. Now, in Andor, the problem is it's so unbelievably boring because after the environment comes into it, we get to the point where it's no longer got the environmental aspect. And what we do is we put them somewhere really remote so no technology shows up. So that well, like you go to a place where you could film like a Western, and so this way you don't see anything that's going to look wrong. And so you see really nothing. So you see people living a rustic life in the galaxy far, far away, which okay, like I care about the galaxy far, far away, but a rustic life's a rustic life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when they train to be stormtroopers, we see every fucking moment of stormtrooper training.
Except for blaster training, because they've never done that.
Let's just skip that. Yeah. Exactly.
I think they skipped those classes.
We saw every minute of blaster training too. Hey, we're up to 9 people. It's such a pleasure to have almost double digits back after that dastardly attack before. Don't worry, guys. We're talking Star Wars.
Mark Harkness, I would love to be put in front of the Jedi Council and called them out for their hypocrisy and cowardice. I would love
Captain
nothing
Kirk
more.
Would have a lot to say. By the way, I have something to say on this one. When old creepy walks over to Lord Vader and he's like, "He's still alive. Bring a medical capsule immediately." And then like he sticks out his hands, but when he sticks out his hands for a moment, he flexes them. And then, if I'm correct here, and even if I'm not close enough, don't we then dive through night like we get him into his medical capsule and take him away? But then the closest, when George Lucas would have been better off editing this to have it be a hard cut as soon as we saw the Emperor flex his hands, is don't we go through vaginal nightmare vision where we're in a tunnel of like blurred vision where we see Padme like, "Anakin, no, oh no, our babies, Anakin, no." It's like, she's lost the will to live, right? Don't we do that like almost right after we get Vader off the field,
right?
So, and then Luke is born first, which messes up like the Return of the Jedi, where Leia seems to remember more. But I mean, we're talking like he's got like 90 more seconds with his mom. But I think that when we see it for a moment before they take him away, before the scene ends, he's using the Force and he's communing with Anakin. My question is this: is he able to use Anakin as a 5G tower to then pinion the Force to then observe Padme and find out where she is through him, and use him again like a 5G relay to give her a case of the Force SADS and she Sith herself to death?
I don't know. 5G didn't exist when this movie came out, so
no. But no. You know what I'm saying.
I'm breaking your balls here. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I don't even think Wi-Fi was really around. Also.
Yeah, no, like he uses her like to home in on Padme and give her and Sith her to death. Is that kind of what happens there? It's
no,
unsaid.
No, she just dies because the plot demanded it.
So what he's doing is he's getting into Vader's head to say, "Hold on, I'll turn you into a robot monster. Don't worry."
She was the Alex before the Alex.
We were all waiting for Padme to die. Although I will say this: Darth Vader was thrown into lava by Obi-Wan Kenobi was something that was said when I was in like 2nd grade. So that piece of canon payoff was like, yeah, wow, it finally fucking happened. Wow, in a way I never imagined, but it exactly paid off what he said. Because it's like George Lucas was on,
yeah, I've decided to go with 9 movies because it'll take me about 12 years. Before I'm done. Way I see it, so there'll be 9. It'll be fine. People will come back to see them all. They'll all make sense too. There won't be dumb ones made by other people. They'll all be good. And you'll come back and it'll be great stuff. And
stylistically designed to be that way, and you can't undo that. But we can diminish the effects of it.
You've gone too far in a few places.
It makes me wonder, if they would have had the technology during the was it 3 through 6 or 4 through 6, if they would have had the technology they did for the first 3,
we wouldn't have that uneven look where things are invading another decade's space, quite honestly.
Yeah.
But I still think that the prequels were edited. I think that he spent too much time afterwards just editing it, which just, as far as the script goes,
in the prequels, it's it's, you know what, George Lucas needs editing to help him out. And by the way, guys, the 8 of you out there right now mean the world to me after that bot attack. We were up to 12 before the bot attack. We've got 90 views. It's still nothing like the disgraceful failure that is the Comic Relief Crusaders so-called pathetic fucking stream. Prosperity Minister, communist belief crowdsourcer also. Hell, folks, just wanted to drop in and say hi. Need to get to bed early. Early day tomorrow. Night all night. Wes Cagle, great of you to drop by. Wes Cagle sometimes on our panel. He won't be with us tomorrow for Streaming for Vengeance, which believe me is going to be on at 3:05 Eastern Time. Basically, if you see Comic Relief Crusader is on, check and see if I'm on. We're going to, you want to take my watch hours? I got fucking plenty. Let's see how you like it when someone comes after yours. And I won't have to cheat or use technology. I'll just entertain you into irrelevance. And you know what? If a communist is begging for socialism in the forest, does anybody hear them to give them something that they don't deserve for free? Fuck. Guy's a fucking asshole. I love to do that to Congress. Hypocrisy. Yeah, right. Mark Hamill said ESB's duel, they practiced very technical and energetic. The ESB duel is pretty good. The most weighty lightsaber duel of the first trilogy is quite honestly Obi-Wan versus Vader, despite the Kenobi show, because that whole thing, like, you should not have come back. It was so cool. It was so cool. What did you think when the first time you saw that, like, confrontation? You should not have come back, right? When last we met. I mean, the whole thing was great, and we got 21 votes here.
Then they had to make a whole series called Obi-Wan, which is really about the girl boss Leia, right?
Oh yeah,
and totally mess up everything that happened between 3 and 4. Because why not?
Obi-Wan. They bring back Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting each other too. So I mean,
yeah, a simple fix to that could have been the show was about him watching over young Luke, and what he does is they're attacked by sand people, and in order to try to rectify the problem, what he does
is that's an outmoded term, sir. I believe they prefer people of sand.
People of the people.
What do you
of
mean,
the sand?
sand people?
We are the people of the sand. It's like fucking Rage Against the Machine. No, seriously, like we do. What's funny you say that too, because we do like we're not supposed to be like mean or like uninclusive to the sand people because like of the Mandalorian show. Like they humanized them too much.
We call them sand guardians around here. You need to be a little bit more peaceful.
I call them people of sand. That way, everybody knows
Mr.
that I agree with the
Sandman,
Walt Disney Corporation.
Sing me a tune. Lucas came in and had to simplify it and told Hamill to use both hands on the saber because they're difficult to wield. Yeah, the Disney ones, it seems like they're like so bottom heavy or like, and like they're thicker and baseball battish. They look more like the merch than they do like the movie thing. It sucks. Their lightsabers suck. Vader uses one hand because he's mostly mechanical. Yeah, and also like he can't really use the Force to extend it any further. And yes, I'm seeing that chat. We will have concluded by that timestamp.
Sure.
So don't worry about it. We are on this because like we're catching up really quick with the chats. Let's see. The Twisted and Evil. Exactly. Leia grew up to have lived with and known her mother based on Jedi. Yeah. George Lucas is the one who messes that up. But she grew up and believed that the mother that she, I guess, knew through Bail Organa. And she was sad, probably because of what was happening to the Republic. That's the very beautiful and very sad. And Disney's destroyed that by having unfit guardian Obi-Wan leave Luke to his own devices. Imagine a battle with the sand people that got so bad he was like said to Uncle Owen, I have to give Luke his lightsaber, and he wouldn't have it, just like he says in A New Hope. Something that made fucking sense. But no! Krimon, why, Krimon? Krimon, why? Yoda secretly put Padme into a Force-induced healing coma and had Bail Antilles orchestrate faking her death. See, here's the thing. You can have Natalie Portman back. There is Corday is alive. Or if not Corday, one of the other clones. There's more than one. So there are clones who are old enough to be played by Natalie Portman with no de-aging during the Mandalorian time frame. Think about that.
And she still looks fairly young also.
She's still pretty fucking hot, let's face it. You also have Keira Knightley out there who looks exactly the same, who played one of the clones, who could also be brought back as a clone. You could use her.
Did you say Keira
there.
Knightley?
Keira Knightley, yes.
Yeah.
What?
Knightley.
She's British. It's Keira Knightley.
Knightley.
Yeah. Keira Knightley. And it's good to see everybody exchanging hails. It was sinister. The bot attack was sinister. So is this movie. It had the sinister feel to it. It was a great, like, it ends in the middle because we know how the next part is. You know what I mean? It ends in the middle of our story, of our interlocking. And by the way, how'd that ring theory thing work out to explain why we were all wrong? Yeah.
Right.
He didn't make it through that Black Sabbath album. They certainly believe that. The original Vader Kenobi duel is why the Vader Hall scene in Rogue One matters, showing how powerful Vader is compared to normal people. And that says, yeah, they look less clunky versus each other. But yeah, I that makes sense. And that scene wasn't upset to like really the other duel because one, really long time later. Two, that's meant to be watched like kind of before it. No one watched A New Hope to get ready for it because it was not really going to feed into it. If you did what we said about using the Force against each other, like it was just a lot more subtle. And I think Vader's a little broken down and it's a hard fight for him. I think he has to get in. I think he spends a lot of time getting in shape between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. And I think Palpatine's pretty pissed off at him. I think he might get lit up a few times for getting the Death Star destroyed. What do you think?
I think he was punished. I think he was punished.
I think he was punished.
He was told, "Don't come back until you bring Skywalker." I believe that happened.
Had on a plate, yeah.
Yeah,
I believe that. Yeah, that should have happened. And here we go. This should help the show. But you know what? We have coming up soon. Strange New Worlds is only about 5 or 6 weeks away, isn't it?
That's scary.
Well, what's good is Landman's not until like December, so I will be able to do a few Strange New Worlds videos. And well, that's thank God for the panel for that. That'll help me do that without having to do a whole critique of it. I'll just do our ratings and do the video essay over it. And this way we'll just get away with it without me having to do a whole script. It'll be a little bit less intensive, but it'll put on like making uploads really grew the channel. It grew it. And welcome to everyone who's here for the first time for 1923. And we grew it a lot with that. And like we're going to try to grow the Star Wars side, as a Star Trek side as well. This was kind of a rare like sojourn off into my life here in New York and Star Wars. We usually don't do Star Wars. But I will be seeing Thunderbolts.
Well, that's okay. You don't usually do Star Wars, but Disney has yet to do Star Wars anywhere in the parks or on the screen.
We do it much better than they do it, and we have a much bigger and larger button than they do when we do Star Wars.
Our Schwartzes are larger than theirs.
If you really look at it,
red button.
What product line has Disney bought that they've been successful at continuing on? I really can't think of anything
that they've purchased.
Yeah, I mean, look back.
There are things that went well for a while and blew up. Like for instance, Pixar was a gold mine for a few years.
ESPN did phenomenally for a long time.
they blew up Power Rangers and then ended up selling it.
Yeah.
They purchased all of the Marvel products. They've succeeded to kind of run that into the ground.
They haven't really done much with the Fox stuff, have they?
Well, Fantastic
the
Four.
I mean, the Predator movies. I don't know. That last one was okay, but this next one does not look good.
With the Guardian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing looks good. I can't think that they've actually made anything better, or at least been on par with what they've purchased.
Well, you know what? And here's the funny thing: there was an Indiana Jones video game that released recently, The Great Circle.
Yes,
I played through that thing, and I was like, "Why wasn't this the entire movie that Disney should have made?"
Because KK wouldn't have allowed it.
Yeah, it got a lot of praise.
The game plot and the story was actually good. You can go out there and find people who have done supercuts of just basically all the cutscenes, and it's 4 hours long.
Was that script actually written by Lucasfilms?
I think it was written by somebody else. It was
LucasArts is gone,
KK
right?
inspired.
So.
Right.
Yeah, it would be just inspired by Lucasfilms and written by someone else, but it wasn't Kathleen Kennedy.
The thing was, I would say go out there and find the YouTube supercuts of people that have just gotten all the cutscenes together and cut out all the gameplay. It's like a 4-hour Indiana Jones movie, and you know what? It's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's a limitation because of a video game and not an actual feature-length film. But you're like, wow, this should have been the movie that The Dial of Dysentery was instead. So that's for another day if you want to talk about that. But
so that's about the only thing that was good. Is that what it is?
There's zero Phoebe Waller-Bridge in it.
Precisely.
She got $100 million to make a show for
Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Ugh. And nothing materialized. It's incredible.
Well, the thing is, Tomb Raider is even easier to make than James Bond because you have a beautiful actress you can just put in front of people, and the plot can suffer.
You know how bad this is going to go. Come on.
Even if the actress isn't that beautiful, like Alicia Vikander, say, let's say you put Alicia Vikander in your Tomb Raider movie because you didn't like yourself.
Uh-huh.
It would still do okay because she's kind of okay enough.
Right. Right.
She looked like she could pull off the physicality.
Yes. Yes.
Now I think it's going to be a blue-haired land whale. It's going to be Lara Croft.
Hmm.
With a stupid man
I
sidekick.
like where this is going.
A stupid man sidekick who has to apologize, and she has to a woman-splain him everything.
It's got to be... like the 2016 Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You got to give the Ghostbusters of 2016 the movie that will never go away award.
They keep trying to bring it back.
It will not. That movie just will not die. It will not go away. No attempt to get rid of that movie has ever worked. We've done everything we could. It just every 2 years it comes back into the popular zeitgeist conversation. What's his name? Paul Figgy. That's all.
Paul Feig.
I've heard it pronounced 20 different ways.
Kevin Feige, right?
I say it with an A.
And Paul. Yeah, I say it with a long A.
Fig A.
I say so. Paul British Cigarette, who made this fucking movie that no one wants to goddamn watch. He makes a stink every couple of years. What I thought was hilarious was they released a box set of the first two movies with the first sequel, but not the other one, because the Ghostbusters they're done now. There's not going to be another Frozen Empire cast reunion, but the Ghostbusters Stranger Thing mashup non-comedy movie was at least a good movie. It was really sentimental. they leaned too deeply into the sentimentality, but it was at least a good movie. It wasn't a comedy. It had no jokes. I didn't think they should have done it again that way. They should have tried to have some humor in it, and they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, it was too serious.
Both of them. And so what happened though was when they released the box set with just the three of those, Kevin, what's his name? Not Kevin, but Paul, British Cigaretti. He says that it's not fair because he didn't include his movie. So to make him happy, they gave everybody a download code for a digital download. I'm going to say like less than 3%.
No one used it.
I might have used it because honestly, like you could do a member watch party of that movie and just have a rip with it. It's a piece of fucking shit. It's free. I would take it. But you're talking like I have a very specific reason to use it, and I would use it as part of like pleasing my audience because they would love ripping into it. But I guess I have to go see Thunderbolts. It's not going to be easy, but hey, I think it's like
Thunderbolts are go. Is what I tell people. Then they get angry because then they're like, "No, that's Thunderbirds."
Difference.
Could you imagine if we did remake all these classics with her? Because they were saying like putting her in a bridge too far. I mean, they're talking about remaking the Indiana Jones with her. It's like, yeah. Well, OB2's got it. I really like the Acolyte being canceled. The original Vader Kenobi duel is why the Vader Hall scene in Rogue One matters, showing how powerful Vader is compared to normal people. And that says, yeah, they look clunky versus each other, but Palpatine was angry at Vader ever since Vader lost on Mustafar. He needed him, but wanted the peak Anakin. Losing one hand to become a war hero was acceptable. Getting himself chopped to pieces, that pissed Palpy off. I'm going to say I agree with that. Yeah. That was just like, you're not really the one. And then we have all the bullshit canon about like the secret apprentices and all this other stuff. If you have to make one secret apprentice real, and they'll do her dirty and they'll do her wrong, but I loved Ventress.
Yeah, you know who they'll never do is Mara Jade because they refuse.
No, didn't you hear they cast her?
They cast
Mara Jade. They cast her. You didn't hear about this one, JT?
No.
I got some news for you.
Yeah.
Mara Jade,
I just said it,
it can't be someone that looks nice, and if they do, they'll uglify them up.
Well, it will be both. They don't really look that nice, and they will uglify them up. You'll never guess who it is. It's not Slash, but they have a one-word name.
Snooki?
Wasn't it Zendaya?
Their name sounds like, I was going to say their name sounds like commercial tap water.
Lizzo.
Not Dasani, but Zendaya.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, you get rid of all the redheads.
A Phoebe Waller-Bridge too far. I bet you they give her red hair.
Like a Phoebe Waller-Bridge over the River Kwai.
I know Bridge over the River Kwai. It's Obi-Wan goes nuts and becomes a collaborator with the First Order.
Zendaya seems to be in everything now. It's just that they really got to push her.
She's almost attractive, but she has this dancer's body. She has this dancer's body with no curves at all. There were dancers with a little bit of curve and a little bit of body, but she is just a stick figure. She's a pipe cleaner girl. She also, I don't know whether I blame her for this, because honestly, in the second part of that Spider-Man movie where she was allowed to act, she was a lot better than she was in the first two Spider-Man movies in the first half of that Spider-Man movie. Honestly, once they're free of Doctor Strange, she was okay when she was allowed to act, and I don't know what to make of her ability because that movie wasn't exactly Shakespeare, and it wasn't exactly as good as we remember it either. But they do have her, go out there and do her thing as Zendaya, and like she's a little bit better of an actress in that. I heard she's acceptable in Dune. The thing is, it's like she is this shapeless, wafy, plastic fast food container wearing.
She's got a pretty
kind of. She has an okay
I
face.
don't think so. I don't
I'm gonna
think
call
so.
it okay. I'm gonna call it okay. I don't.
She
wanna
did a
call
pretty
her
good
ugly.
job in the Greatest Showman. I liked her in that. Then now,
See,
Dune-
that's
not
but
Mara
that's
Jade.
justified.
yeah.
No, but here's the thing. Yeah,
Dune-
no, she's not Mara Jade at all. But in The Greatest Showman, she is cast well because in real life she's a dancer, which is why she has that stick figure body.
And
The thing is, there are dancers who have
pretty good.
somewhat more appealing figures than her. She is just straight lines. And yet, when it was time for her to dance, she danced well, and she could probably sing too. Who knows? The thing is, like JT said though, she's not Mara Jade, and we're getting to Zendaya
agreed.
overdose. She's not MJ either. That was a terrible MJ. They had to buy that off by making it a different world outside of the everything else.
Different MJ, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
It's only a matter of time before we get a Predator movie with Zendaya and Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, yes, the two Disney favorites.
As like the older uncle or something, you know.
Well, they just killed him off in The Last of Us.
So he's free. He's available, is what you're saying.
He's open up to something else now.
But
guys, we
Teague,
have
search your feelings. You know it's true. It's only a matter of time.
He's only got the Fantastic Four he's doing right now. Might as well add him to something else.
I understand why Doomcock said he looks really well groomed with all the gear that he has on and like the very fulsome mustache and stuff that Reed Richards has. I get why he says that, but like Pedro himself always looks like shit. He always looks like he swam through vegetable oil. How dare you attack Zendaya? You don't. How do you attack Zendaya?
Oh no!
You don't lead her so much.
We need Sean here for the
Get
clip.
some. Get some. Get some.
Right.
I love that
geez.
movie. We need a Full Metal Jacket clip too. I could get rid of something for the Full Metal Jacket clip. I know this though. I will never get rid of my patent music. Never, 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 never. And you know what? We always have to wonder.
I'll agree with you as a tanker.
All right. You know what? We had a great show. I hope everyone coming through later enjoys it. There was only a 20-minute meltdown for the bot storm. I'm going to be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock. You better believe it, boy. Yeah. If I was a snowbilly grifter, boy, would I be worried about what's going to, go on as far as who might just show up to counter-stream me tomorrow at 3:05 p.m. Eastern. And to Snowbilly Grifter, I say, you're really pissing me the fuck off. You have not, if this is not you, why have you condoned every attack, gone out of your way to stand up for the attacks being right and good? Why have you called for more attacks, and why don't they happen while you're on the air? Fuck you.
At least deliver pizza.
He won't do anything to make money. He will not do anything to make money.
No, I was just saying to
not
deliver you pizza. I mean, come on. At least you get some benefits out of it.
I don't want. Thank God he doesn't know where I live. But yeah, buddy, with the Defiance. You know what? We're not going to take his bullshit. When you come through later, do me a favor, please help me get to 30 likes. Leave a comment, ask me a question, and help me fill up the screen with comments. They help so much. I'm going to try to get back to the backlog of ones I have left over, and I owe you all so much. What are you up to, JT Kirk?
Let's see. Tomorrow night I will be on with Mark D with a C doing some late night Fortnite, and then Saturday will come up pretty quick. Where at 9:45 Eastern, we'll be talking a little Star Trek right here on the Great Admiral Teags channel.
And it's an episode that you want to watch, and then we'll discuss other stuff after we get it out of the way.
Yes.
Whoa. Whoa.
I don't want to spoil the fun for anybody, but
it's not terrible, but we've seen this idea a bunch of times before.
Right.
And while it's not amusing, by the time we get done with Strange New Lows is coming back. Stupid New Lows is returning. By the time we get done with that, guys, believe me, it'll look like Shakespeare. We'll be like, remember how great that episode that made no sense is? It's got like a one-word name. I forget what it means. It's another attempt at the Darmok thing. It's also kind of got some DNA with the episode where Geordi and the Romulan end up stuck on that planet together.
Or where Tupac and Paris end up on that planet with that one woman, the desert planet. Or when Cisco and Kira get marooned with Gul Dukat while they're trying to take him to the Federation prison. Let's see.
Also, what sucks here is it's a low Hoshi episode too, and a low T'Pol episode.
Yeah,
we went too high on the Hoshi and T'Pol ratio. Not that you can, but I mean, we had Hoshi and T'Pol centric episodes to the point that we need to cut down their participation in a couple of these other character building episodes. Just have them say like, "Yes, sir," "Aye, sir," and so that's all we're gonna get from them. And it's really a shame because they're beautiful. But they overcorrected for so long that now they're going to overcorrect again for a little while. We're into the briar patch, ladies and gentlemen, with Enterprise.
Yes.
We promised to step up our pop culture observations. We're going to be I'm going to give you guys, you know what I'm going to do is we're going to watch some Trek culture after the show. We're going to watch it right on the big screen with the people in StreamYards. We're going to watch it together, and we're going to see what they have to say. We're going to try to find something that's 5 minutes. We're only going to do it for about a half an hour because we start getting crazy because we stop them every 5 seconds so they can't copyright strike us. But we find out that once they get through "Hey, hello, welcome," there's about 4 or 5 minutes of disparaging and 4 or 5 more minutes of correcting the lies they tell in just 5 seconds. We are talking lies straight from the pit of hell, guys. You know what? I wish that we could have. I thought that Mara Jade would be played by Erin Kellyman. Do you know who that is?
No.
Freckle Jesus, in the words of the Critical Drinker.
I love pretty redheads.
Yes, me too.
She's not a pretty redhead, Erin Kellyman. Erin Kellyman is Freckle Jesus. You've never seen her?
Why would you tease me then?
No, that's who I thought Disney would use. Let me get Ellen Kellyman up on the screen so you can see her, so you know.
No, they'll go back to the well with Zegler.
I can't totally see it, but at the same time, I somewhat believe that we can see Rachel Zegler. Here is Freckle Jesus. Remember her? Critical Thinker always loves to talk about her. They killed 2 birds with 1 stone. She's black and she has red hair. And she's, I guess now she's gone to the scissor side of things because she's cross-dressed here from the best of my ability to tell. Yeah, and she's the reason there's any rebellion to begin with because that's the person who started it according to the new lore. How dumb is that guy? There we go, he reappeared. Hello, everybody. So Erin Kellyman, I thought that's who Mara Jade would be. What are you going to do? Didn't get to be that bad, but hey.
You utter the great one, Critical Drinker, and look who shows up in chat.
I know.
RTNZ.
Speak of the devil. RTNZ. Erin Kellyman played Enfys Nest in Solo. Yes, Enfys is the Welsh word for rainbow. Make of that what you will. Yeah. A 12-year-old started the rebellion. It was one of the stupidest moments in all of Star Wars, and there it was in the stupidest Star Wars movie of them all, Solo. I contend that Solo is stupider than Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker is just far more convenient. It's like
Solo was really dumb, dumb.
By the time but the thing is, Solo's shorter than Rise of Skywalker by like a half hour.
I'm thinking just for looks, Mary Jade could be Karen Gillan. As far as acting goes, I just oof.
I'm thinking Riley Keough, Elvis's daughter, would be good. Oh, Karen Gillan is pretty. She would make a good Mara Jade. Is she would do for the look, girl?
She would do good for the looks, but as far
as
Doctor
Who star.
Well, and she does all the other comedies.
Early 2000s Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, you know what? From the same town as Rosie O'Donnell, it's like the yin and the yang of looks and sexuality there.
Lindsay Lohan doesn't look that bad anymore. She did a lot of work and she got off the drugs.
Mm-hmm.
She got, or she did so much work. There's no telling, but yeah, she seems to be off the drugs. You know what? Before we go, real quick, let me just throw this one out there. I did a broadcast with Northern English Bastard, who's great. I love Northern English Bastard. He's a great guy. Let me just pull up his channel. But we did a broadcast, and you can check it out. It's me and my good friend RRTNZ is on the panel with me, and we did a live panel discussion of Miami Vice Season 2, and it was a really great time, and we had fun. And I just want to say very quickly, you can check this out with Northern English Bastard, who is also, you'll enjoy subbing him too. He's a good YouTuber, and he has some fun and interesting ideas. And like being from New York, one of the episodes, like the 2-part movie of the season, they go to New York. Do you know that they traded the cocaine for money right in front of the World Trade Center, right at the reflecting pool, right in front of it? But
no.
I didn't use, yeah. So I didn't want to use this from my from my notebook, but just really quick, here was some of the things in my notes I had. I said some of them. Okay, here we go. When I watched this show, my father would sit there misgendering Crockett and saying he wanted to kick his ass. And if he came to New York, when the New York cops hated him and screamed and yelled at him, that was accurate because my father was a New York City detective. My father called him the guy from my sister's bedroom wall, which makes him Simon LeBon. So, like, I also think Lieutenant Castillo, Commander Adama, might have wanted to have a talk with him about that fucking hand cannon. And also, in real life, CNN was around for years when Miami Vice came on. In real life, tell me I'm not right, guys. Are you ready for this one? Miami Vice happens, the show happens exactly the way it happens. There's that big gunfight, right? And we leave like everything from the show behind, and we go into the mainstream media. And it's Bernard King from CNN. Remember him, the original anchor? And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a shooting in Miami where several police officers, they were uninjured. Crockett and Tubbs, 2 detectives with the Miami-Dade Police Department, have managed to kill 16 drug dealers in a shootout that lasted just a minute and a half. That's right, it happened, but wrapped around commercials. We're getting details right now. So at any rate, in the middle of the episode, which is a day later, right? Because Crocker and Tubbs don't sleep. A day later, right? It'd be like, could you imagine as the episode continues happening the way it did? Don't think of the episode. Think of watching CNN, the rest of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, it happened again. Rather than taking away their weapons after the death of 16 drug dealers or alleged sicarios under mysterious circumstances, Crockett and Tubbs have taken the lives of 15 more men. This brings the body count to 32. 20 killed by Sonny Crockett, James Sonny Crockett, a Vietnam veteran. A damaged relic of a forgotten war, a psycho cop. We'll have answers for you with Dr. Joyce Brothers giving a psychological... This would have been non-stop fucking this. They were absolutely insane. And Lieutenant Castillo would have been like, Lieutenant Castillo removed for having 31 people killed by one cop that he didn't take off the beat for killing 16 people. And just like, could you imagine the interview with chain-smoking, hard-drinking, like pale pink leisure suit wearing fucking British cigarette Crockett, crybaby scumbag who cannot stand to not have his Maserati, goes crazy, grows a machine gun out of his jacket. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't make this up. In the middle of the season when he had killed 80 people, could you imagine the national news? The 45th victim claimed by Crockett and 35 by Tubbs. We now have a criminal profiler investigating these 2 psychopathic cops. The show understood cops. The show understood drug dealing. It did not. It had an earlier cop show's meta about shootouts. The next gritty cop show that starts the year Miami Vice ends is the first Law and Order, and in the successful Law and Order, the big one that's on like 26 seasons or whatever, I believe Captain Benson is fired twice.
Really?
Yeah. She's fired her weapon twice. She wounded one person after they were beating her up and beating her down and trying to take her gun. Kind of went off and got someone in the leg. And then someone she had to shoot to save another cop, like in season 4.
That's
and she
true.
hasn't done it since.
Like all of Law and Order, like one person is guilty of resisting arrest.
They'll just kind of give so up, well trapped. Yeah. There's never if there's a chase, it's in the middle of the episode where they take the guy down and drag him in all bruised up, and he's like, "I'm going to sue your department for beating my ass. Like next time, don't run away from a legitimate NYPD police officer." And by the way, those have been fictionalized looking New York City police uniforms for a while now. You would be surprised when you come to New York to see it, but check out Northern English Bash. We had a fun time. The episodes are fun. We had a great conversation. We're right in there having a great time. Your friend RRTNZ's in there with you. I'm Admiral Teag. Come back tomorrow at Comic Relief Crusaders airtime for Streaming for Vengeance, the show where we destroy bot swarming shows with a counter stream. No violence is used. All we have to do is show up and give people an alternative. I can't promote the show, but it's whenever we go on the air and Comic Relief Crusader is not otherwise busy, this is what happens. So I just want to say on a personal level to whoever it might be bot swarming me, fuck you, you fucking piece of shit.
Free Sydney Sweeney?
And you know what? You want to crowdfund stuff? Crowdfund a ride to New York, and I'll meet you at Gleason's gym, and the loser can pay the ring fee. We'll get a doctor there because we know, your health. And, you get to see the city. And if you want to keep up your bullshit, you can see the city from Rikers Island, you motherfucker, you. Because the cybercrimes division is real, and we have enough of your accounts in jail to prove a pattern. You're a motherfucker, and you're going to get a little bit of retribution. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow to claw back the analytic that we lost tonight. Wouldn't happen, but the counter punch is coming down now. Oh, Phil the Shield was in season 2. That got honorable mention on my list. It has a song in it from Phil Collins. He basically plays himself. Phil likes Beatles-ish kind of humor. This one was fun and funny. But my number 5 was called Dangerous and Beautiful with the pop star Fiona. The episode was serious and less idiotic cop who doesn't wear pink suits. Tough guy, hard drinking Sonny Crockett came to work today with his hand cannon and a white linen biker jacket with a pair of pale pink pants and a t-shirt with no sleeves to work as a police officer. Back to you at the news desk. I mean, how does this, and no nonsense, Lieutenant Castillo lets this guy work there. You tell me how that happens. But Phil the Shield is episode 2 is very funny. It's a self-aware episode. In Beautiful but Dangerous, even though he gives a prostitute a key to the police safe house, it at least shows them loving their city and wanting to be good guardians. Important part of all good cop shows. Check out the conversation. Northern English Bastard. Leave a comment here for me, and I will answer it for you as soon as I can. And I love you all. I think you have. They have earned Sydney Sweeney, haven't they? Hey, what does the bot master do while someone else fucks their wife, JT? What do you think they do?
They probably write down how they feel in their journal.
Desperately taking Viagra
with a pink gel pen.
Happens.
With a pink gel pen.
Desperately taking Viagra without getting any reaction for the 100,000th time because they're that little of a man. Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck you, bot swarmer. Anyway, this is for all our loyal audience. We love you all. I forgot to say this one. You know what? Saving Star Trek and the Admiral Teague show is brought to you by the genius of Gene Roddenberry, of course, by the brilliance of this panel. And we almost didn't end the poll. Let's end the poll now. 25 votes. We found out that what kind of does the Andor attack have any place? I don't know what Star Wars is anymore. Wins. So that tells you all you need to know. You can see at 28% yes, and like the stream did a little better than Star Wars is not for mature audiences. It looks like people would have been okay with it, and maybe if the show was just a little better, it's just no show that slow can be good. All right, here you go, Sydney Sweeney, and that's what I forgot to mention. It's also brought to you by the generosity of saving Star Trek funders like Crimlon, who bought 25 Admiral Teag memberships for you lucky people. So tell your friends, get in there and grab a membership and leave me a comment. You'll get a membership too. You get a membership. You get a membership. You get a membership. Here she is. She's Sydney Sweeney. We love you all.